Hello everyone, my name is Andres. Please join me in this very short video to learn how to analyze and code check different types of foundations using the latest CSA 2019 code for the design of concrete structures in S Foundation. Before we jump into action, it is worth mentioning that the CSA 2019 concrete code will only be available in S Foundation's latest version. That is, to the day in which this video is being recorded, S Foundation 2023.1. In case you're interested in knowing which version of S Foundation is installed on your machine, you can always click on the Help menu, click on About, and you will see your program's version over here. So you will have to have 2023.1 or any subsequent S Foundation version installed in your machine, and this can be downloaded and installed using the Altair One marketplace. So that being said, for today's video we will be working with this model in which we defined different types of foundations. For example, we have a couple of circular strap footings over here with circular pedestals. We have some triangular isolated footings with rectangular pedestals, and we also have an irregular mat foundation with two different sizes of rectangular pedestals as well. And we also defined a wall, an L wall in this edge of the mat foundation. For our soil profiles, we defined a single layer soil profile for which the top elevation was modified so it was aligned to the surface of all of these paths in the different types of foundations. And when it comes to the loading, we defined two different load cases. In this case, I'm going to show you load case number one, and for load case number one, we simply defined some vertical reactions coming from our columns that will be serving as the transmission of forces to the pedestals and to the foundations, and we define them at the pedestals locations and at the walls locations as well. And for our second load case, we defined a couple of surcharge areas in the different paths in this model, and we applied some pressure loads that will be accounted for when we run our analysis. So with this, I'd say we are more than ready to run an analysis and code check on our model, and we will be able to choose our CSA 2019 building code in two different ways. The first one is to go here to the settings menu, click on design, and we will be able to change the concrete code from the corresponding drop-down menu. And the second alternative will be to go to the design input window over here and change our concrete code in a similar fashion. If you don't see the same windows as I do here on my screen, don't forget that you can always customize the window layout that you see in S Foundation through the window menu over here. With that, I believe that I'm ready to run an analysis and code check all of my foundations. In this case, I will only be running a flexible code check on all the different foundations, and I'm only going to be interested in my pad. As we can see, we don't have any piles here, so I won't be checking any of these boxes. So that being said, I will click on Run, Analyze and Code Check, and I will fast forward to have these analysis results shown without having to wait too much. So when our analysis and code check is complete and we don't receive any error or warning messages, which is our case and is always a good sign, we'll be brought to this design output window over here. So let me just expand this menu so you can see better, and go back to the code checks tab over here. So after left clicking on it, I will see a summary of the different structural and geotechnical code checks performed on all the different elements in my model. And in this case, we will see the governing code check at the top of the list, which is for this mat foundation over here, with 84% of utilization, according to this demand and this capacity that we will be diving into deeper. And this is for load case, or rather load combination 1, which is comprised of the two load cases that I showed you with these two factors over here. So I can drill down more in these results to learn more about how these calculations were performed, and if I choose my governing load case and my element that's showing the highest utilization, I will be brought to this menu in which we can see that the pad structural punching shear code check for pedestal number 5 is showing us the 84% utilization. So you may be wondering which pedestal we're talking about. I'm going to go to the labels menu. I'm going to click here on mat foundation, and I had already clicked on a couple of boxes down here, especially here in the pedestal index box label, to have all of these pedestals labeled. And as you can see, our troubled guide is this pedestal over here, pedestal number 5. So once I have drilled these results down a little bit more, I will see some of the parameters that were used for this calculation, meaning the input information for this pedestal, and we will also see the demand and capacity drop down menus over here. So the demand, of course, is going to be calculated with all the different loading that we input on our model, and the capacity, of course, will be coming from the desired building code. In our case, we chose the CSA A23.3.19 code, and all the calculations will be, of course, considering the different factors that are involved, like, for example, safety factors. And if we wish to learn more about the clause that is being considered for this specific code checks calculation, we can always hover our mouse over the clause box over here, and we will be shown more information. In this case, it's clause 13.3.4, and the same procedure can be repeated for pretty much every code check and every element in our foundations. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in more S Foundation videos, please refer to our concrete foundation design playlist in our YouTube channel.